What it do, gang? It's your little homie, Warren G Body, and I'm still in the rock shop. Welcome back, gang, to the Rock Shop Garage. Oh my God, for another edition of Rock Shop Chronicles, gang. This is just gonna be a quick update. I wasn't recording as I was doing the work in here on the Malibu. That's how this got back like this again. So, and we're still working on getting all the tools situated, gang. We're trying to get this, back to the way it was when I first started the whole garage project. But yeah, gang, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on the Malibu, how we're doing. And we are looking official. That almost looks like it's supposed to be there. You feel me? Yeah, so I originally made this panel was butted up against this panel. This is the fuse panel, and this is the distribution block. So what's happening here is that the battery's in the back. Zero gauge is running off the battery through a breaker, and then from the breaker, it runs all the way up through, and it exits out here on the side of the body. All right, so I drilled a hole, put a grommet, ran the power out, and then the power wire runs up here in this area in the fender, and then it exits out right there. Now, the way I have this secured is I have 3 or 4 of these inside the fender well. And I used a bolt with a nylock nut so it won't back out. You feel me? And you don't see it because you don't see the nut. You don't see any of that stuff because these panels cover it. You feel me? So these panels, I'm going to leave them where I can remove them if I ever need to get in there and work. So we're going to add a riv nut, and then we're going to add a nice little Allen head right here to hold that. We're going to add one down there to hold it, and then we might add one up in here to hold it and secure it down. So we straight there. But yeah, gang, this looks like, look at that. That looks like it was supposed to be there. Now, one thing that I'm big on, gang, is I'm big on having, before I really start a project or do something, I like to have all the players that are going to go be installed in place, and if I'm going to add something new. And the reason why I do it that way is, like, let's say if I didn't have these, right, and I just laid this out, if I would have put this here, see the problem? I would have ran into that. So what I did is that I laid this out first. I put this on here first, right where it's supposed to go, and secured it tight. And then I wanted this to be as close up to it as possible. And that's where I got. I should have brought it over just a little bit, but that's fine. But see, that looks real clean. But yeah, so we're also done. See, the power is running down. So as I said before, the zero gauge runs up, through, comes into the distribution block. So that's what this is. I can come out. Of course I won't, because nothing's going to be on top. But if I needed to, you got lugs up here. So you got 1, 2, 3 lugs. Then you got 1, 2, 3 lugs. So you got 6 lugs. So zero gauge comes in and powers this up. Then we have zero gauge that continues through, and this is the fuse panel. So you have a fuse that's right here on top and a fuse on the bottom. So when the power comes in, there's a bus bar that's right here that drops the power down to this one. The bottom one is this one right here. That is the power that's running back inside the vehicle. That's how power is introduced inside the car at the Ron Francis panel. So you see, it's protected. Zero gauge comes in, zero gauge goes out, and this top one here, that one is what goes out to the alternator. So the alternator will have zero gauge on it, and it will charge the battery that way. And if anything happens, that fuse will pop. You see what I mean? So the system is protected. Inside the car is protected. Outside, inside here, is protected. And then we're protected in the back. So this is kind of like a fusible link, so to speak. But yeah, so we're good there. I need a 90. So I can 90 out here and go straight down. And then the zero gauge for the alternator will run in this loom. And I went with red and black, gang, because the whole theme is red and black, and to let that denote that there's power in there. So I also put a little red on the grommets. And then you see it disappears down. It attaches right there at the starter, and then the rest of the power wire goes on around. Now, I still need to drill out some holes around the tunnel so I can secure the wire up, and I'll show you what I mean. So right now, the Malibu is good to go. We're straight. I'll show you what the trunk is looking like in a minute. But the main attraction is about to be the original IROC King, aka Mr. Horsepower. Yeah, it's his turn now. He's been patiently waiting. We got that Ron Francis looking official. Oh my God, with a whistle. Yeah, that's looking official in there. Out of all the panels I've installed, I'm digging this one the best, man. I'm really liking the way this one's coming out. But yeah, so we got to get this thing cleaned out. You're going to start seeing some content on him. You can see we got it. So I started my cleanup over here. So I got rid of the table. We folded it back up, tucked it away. Blew the LS 376 525 down. This is another crate one. Gang, this is actually the one that was in the Elko. We had a situation. Yeah, we had a situation happen. And so I swapped motors real quick, primed that one up, swapped over the parts, and fired this one up over here. But that is originally the black motor. That's originally the black LS3. I had to clean all the black paint off. It was a big mess, man. And what happened is I had the broken installation tool, and I didn't realize it. And I broke the tool off inside the crankshaft. So I've let it sit here all this time so all the oil could drip down. And now I'm going to take the bottom pan off, then flip it over, and then we're going to take the crankshaft out, take it to a shop, and have them get that broken off piece. I can't get it out. It broke off in such a way, man, where I can't get a center punch. I have all the tools to do it, but because of the way it's broken off, I can't get to it. So we'll just take it to a spot, have them do it. But yeah, so we'll be firing this up soon. But we looking good, gang. Just trying to get things prepped and ready. I got a young bro that's going to come through and finish the frame up for me. I have a badass welder, Eastwood MIG 250, and plasma cutter. But my eyeballs, gang, the way my eyes are set up now, nah, it's a wrap for me in welding. And everybody's always on my head. Oh, bro, I done had welding helmets from the cheapest up to $800, $900 helmets. It's not the helmet. It's not the helmet at all. It's like, I don't even like to explain it no more. So we just going to have a young dude spot welding. Boom, I can spot weld like a mug. But laying a bead, yeah. The bead will look good, but it'll be over here because I can't see it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but we're going to have a young bro come through, keep the economy going and shoot him some loot. He's going to finish the frame for me, and then I can pull it out, get it prepped for paint, and go on ahead and get this thing as a roller. And you flip the frame over, mount, you drop the motor in, and keep it moving, gang. So, but yeah, like I said, quick update. The Elko is looking good. Looking good. It's time to get her out of mock-up and start putting the actual parts on. This is a part from the Malibu, which won't be ran. We're gonna take this. I might run this on the Malibu. Who knows? I might do it. But I actually have the bracket for the AC compressor that's gonna go here, which means I'll have to remake the line and everything because this hits. So yeah, but just to get this fired up, we just put the mock-up, the test engine stand stuff on there. So we good there, and we fired that one up successfully, no problems. And the same thing's gonna happen with the Malibu. And here we go with the trunk. That's how we looking back here. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm about to get into another thing and learn. I'm about to get into woodworking. I want to make a false floor back here. I was watching my boy Dash. He built a whole panel setup back here that came out real clean. And I was like, I can do that, especially with the tools now. Gang, there's nothing y'all can't do. Trust me. With today's tools and technology and videos, that's the reason why I don't do how-tos anymore. Back when I started my original YouTube channel, back in 2004, 2003, somewhere around there, I did do how-tos. The whole channel was based off of how-tos because there wasn't anybody in the G-Body community doing it. How to change, how to do a tune-up, how to remove springs, how to put springs in. Nobody was doing that back then. But now, that's why I don't do how-tos, gang, because there's so many content creators doing that. I just give anybody interested in the projects updates. And this is what we're working on. So if y'all don't mind hearing me talk, I'm gonna give it to you. But there it is. So we looking good. Get that fire extinguisher in your projects quickly. Can't have these old schools without a fire extinguisher, man. I've seen it go bad far too many times, and I run 2 of them. I got one there, in that custom mount, and then I'll have a system up here that's actually going to be mounted up in here, and it has stuff that goes all the way around. And once if the flames ignite and it burns through, it pops, it dumps all the shit on top to put it out. You feel me? That's how I build. You don't want to think of catastrophic failure, but you got to think of what could possibly happen and what can I do to aid and help, put it out or stop it or minimize it when you're building. You feel me? You want to incorporate that in. So I got to get that system going. And I think I want to put in a battery kill somewhere in here. Somewhere in here, I want to put a hole where I can just kill the whole car. You feel me? I might put it out here since the battery is back here. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we'll figure it out. Somewhere where I can kill the whole deal. We'll figure it out, gang. Usually, the NHRA or whatever, they want it up there so they can just reach in and pow, hit it. I've seen cars where they're mounted in the back. We'll see. I'll figure all that out. But right now, we just trying to get it fired up, and we're getting closer, gang. But anyway, man. Oh, one last thing. We started on the fuel system. This is a brand new but old Holley pump, and this was original for this project. But I had the 1801 or whatever, and that one was deemed no good in the high heat. This was an Arizona car. So I went to the 1600. And that was years ago, at least 13 years ago when I bought that. Well, fast forward to now, same problem. It's just no good in the heat. So we're going with the Aeromotive Pro Series, the black one. I was going to do dual A1000s. When you running these pumps, man, you got to look at the numbers and understand how the numbers work. Oh man, you don't need that Black Pro Series, the A1000. I'll say, Brody, I'm trying to get big horsepower out of this. And as you add stuff, E85, it lowers the horsepower number. It's non-carbureted. It just starts lowering. I'm like, you're looking at, that one is rated for 1,700 horses, but as you start adding stuff, it drops the horsepower range lower and lower and lower and lower. So that's why I'm going with the Pro Series. The Pro Series, I believe, is one of their top level ones. Crazy horsepower. It's way more than I'll need. We trying to get at least 1,000 out of this one. And I think that's more bragging rights. I ain't a racer, y'all. I'm not into racing. It's not my thing. But this is very race inspired. We got roll cages in the engine bay, roll cages inside the cabin. So we need some numbers, to back up the way it looks. So, but we got the fuel system going. I need to cut the line, put the hose on there. I've already got power and stuff ran to this one so we can power it up off a switch. It's going to be through a relay, 40 amp on it, the whole 9. And then boom. But this is just to get it so we can clean the lines out. I like to blow the lines out, and then we'll put fuel in the tank and we'll flush it. We'll flush it and flush it and flush it and take a look at the fuel. This is the same thing I did on the Elko with awesome results. You feel me? So all that prep, all that extra stuff, it's just going to help secure a win for you. You feel me? Yeah, I'm excited. I want to get this thing going, but I don't want any problems. So this is try to minimize problems are going to happen, but I'm going to try and do what I can do to minimize them. But anyway, gang, we looking good. Malibu is moving. Detox Blue is moving forward. This is looking all good. Got it loomed up. A few more things to do in here. We still got to get this pan welded in, but I'll wait on all of that. That's all going to wait. We'll wait. And as we get closer to firing this one up, this one actually starts to get phased out. And what's phasing in, gang, is the SS. Out of all the G bodies, this is my favorite. He the last one out. Well, I got one more, but I got another Elko to build. It sounds funny that this is my favorite one, and I have 3 Elkos. So it's just how it is. But the SS, that's my favorite right there. So, but yeah, gang, just wanted to give y'all an update on what's going on up here in the Rock Shop garage. We getting it cracking. This is the motor for the next Elko, 357. We got to put some better heads on here, and we're going EFI, so this is coming out, putting a high ram EFI on it. But yeah, again, so it's going to be like this. This is pretty much the same style of intake, but meant for the first gen. So, but yeah, I can't wait to get to that one. But the OGI Rock King, Mr. Horsepower, he got next, cuz. All right, y'all, it's your little homie, Warren G-Body, up in the kind of clean rock shop, repping 80s, and most definitely keeping it shit.